Hi friends, I am Dharmala Shree. I secured All India rank 409 and I am from Belur Kadipati village in Salem district, and I studied my schoolings in Tyagaraja Matriculation School and Sharada Matriculation School in Salem district, and I completed my BTech Fashion Technology in Sona College of Technology, and I had a work experience 2 years in Madura Clothing. Then I started my preparation from 2014 and I got All India rank 409. My optional is history, and I chose history because I had a liking from schooling, and then I had another chance to study history after breakup, because after 10th I couldn't study history. So after some 6-7 years gap I got an opportunity to study history. And the next reason is I got a guide here. So Sadik sir is the biggest resource for my history optional, because whatever the option we are choosing, we need a right mentor. So in that case I am lucky. And the next one, and when we are consulting with our seniors, I got to know that okay, this can be a part which is useful in right from prelims, mains and interview. So it is an easier option, and it has its own value. So I chose history on that basis. We all know that history is one of the mark fetching subject, and it doesn't require any theories or any other principles and formulas. So it is easy for me to take history, because you need not to have any special skills to crack history. It has its own flow. The advantage of history I secured in my last mains, in GS1 mainly in GS1, I got All India's second highest mark. Because of history optional, I secured that mark, and in my history optional as well, I got one of the top marks in my paper 2. So this is the edge we have as a history optional student. With respect to materials, I don't have any broad list for preparation. The one thing I followed whatever sir told. The first thing was sir told to read the class notes. So I used to attend the classes regularly. It is a very simple process. So I attended the classes regularly. And the second one, I used to follow the class notes, the notes which I used to write in my own. And the second thing, sir told us to read NCERT first before reading any other author books. So I prefer to read NCERT. After reading NCERT, I started revising the NCERT, especially the modern India or ancient India. I used to revise the NCERT so that I used to get some questions. So some analysis will be there in modern India, ancient India, medieval India. So I used to see the analysis, and again I started writing the answers. So this is the main part of my preparation area. With respect to ancient India, particularly for map, last time I didn't score well in map, mainly because I got tensed when I couldn't know when I don't know some 4 to 5 locations in map. So it pulled down my confidence, and it reflected in my paper 1. And so what happened, I started reading the map work based on the previous year questions which sir used to refer always. So that map work, I took it very seriously, and I started focusing on that. And next thing, with respect to ancient India, what I told earlier, the same class notes and the NCERT books. So while revising this, so I am able to write the answers. So the same way, medieval India, NCERT, simply NCERTs and the class notes. But I used to do a lot of revision based on my own notes and my answers, and the repeated NCERT reading. And with respect to modern India, I studied old NCERT modern India and sir notes, and to an extent I referred Bipin Chandra, India struggle for independence I referred. And with respect to world history, I referred Norman Louis for very few chapters, but I referred the Sir's World History book. It was a very small book, so I referred that book, and mainly because it covered the syllabus. So we got two things. So it is very small, and it covers the syllabus. So I read that World History book alone, and I read it twice or thrice even before appearing the exams. And only with this book, with these two books, I secured one of the high marks in GS and as well as in paper 2 last time. So it is not very tough, or it doesn't require any extra material to get high marks in paper 2. So it is very simple, and it is very easy to crack in the history optional. With respect to writing test is one of the most important part, because we used to read a lot. We used to know the things better, but if you are not able to produce in paper, it is of no use. So I started writing right from the beginning. Even while attending classes, sir used to conduct some class tests. So from the time I started writing. The first mistake I noted is I couldn't complete it on time. So I have taken more than 3 hours to complete the 5 questions in Indus Valley Civilization itself. The second thing sir noted is my handwriting. So sir has his own way to change the handwriting. So I changed the handwriting which is legible to the people. And third one, with respect to my answer writing, so I started completing the knowing questions, only the known questions. So then I shifted to managing the unknown questions, which is very essential with respect to completing the paper, which will give 1 or 2 marks. The 1 or 2 marks will put us in service or out service. So that way I improved, and then it was mainly done after the test series, because sir used to discuss the questions. So in that way I learned how to manage the unknown questions. And the fourth one, with respect to innovations, I used to get the paper corrections done with the sir, and I used to get the feedback, and there I used to get the innovations, ideas, and how to present the paper. The main issue I faced with my friends and even with me initially, I used to pour points, whichever points I know I used to pour, and I used to elaborate the same aspect to an extent. So sir told us to limit the aspect, sir told us to limit the points with the same aspect, and then we started focusing on the other aspects for the same answer. Then the next improvement over the paper is with respect to arranging the aspects. So my answer is getting organized. And the third one, how to put the maps for answer. So I used to draw maps or some innovations in which part of the paper. So the next one, how I used to make the paper more presentable way. And then the layout, how I started the first question, how I ended the last question, how I managed all these questions. So in that way my paper got improved over a period of time, because it is mainly done because I used to go and sit with sir and started the feedbacks. I will not allow him, because I used to torture him a lot, even during his lunch break or any other time. So in that time I used to get corrected, and then the feedbacks actually helped me. So I went with a small or marginal improvement, then sir suggest me some other improvements. It was a very gradual and step-by-step process in my paper presentation and improvement. So in that way my paper was improved. And one more thing is sir's discussion was highly important. Even if I am not able to attend or 1 or 2 tests, even if I missed, I will not miss the discussions after the test. So it helped me a lot. Already I told, my perspectives about the question and the question setter's perspective about the question will vary. So I need to align that area. So it corrected me. So it gave me some balanced perspective about the questions and how I need to manage the overall part of the paper. With respect to prelims, studying history is more important, because the weightage of history every year it is getting increased day by day. So almost 15 to 20 questions is standard from the history itself. The standard patterns of Buddhism, Jainism, and the culture part and modern India specifically. So the questions are very regular and normal. So without skipping history, we cannot crack prelims. It is a fact actually. So we need to give enough time to study history. So in that way, history helped me to crack prelims not once but many times. And then with respect to mainly GS1, it is completely full of history dominated paper, or whether it is modern India or culture part, or whether it is world history. So by giving weightage to history, you can crack. It is easy to get more than 100 in GS1. And with respect to ethics paper, due to the Indian ethics paper, there are some questions like values of Indian culture or Indian society. Based on our knowledge in history, we can be able to answer in our own way. So it gives some edge in the ethics paper also. With respect to interview, we know the roots of the questions. So we know the roots of the issue. So whether it is the recent current issue which is burning in India, whether it is burning in the world, we know the roots of that issue, where it started. So by knowing the root, it gives us more confidence, and we can be more assertive about our answers. So it will gives us more confidence, and it will give more clarity about the issues what we are speaking. So in that way, it helped in my interview preparation as well. My suggestion to aspirants is, please restrict your material. Be specific in what you are reading. So now there are so many distractions about the reference books, which books to refer, and there are so many distractions and so much of information about notes and guides and which one to refer as lot. And we'll have uploads on online and offline. I suggest, please restrict your materials. First one is your class notes, and the second one is the NCERT. And the main area we need to focus is to read regularly, and once you read, we need to revise it, and then writing the test. getting evaluated and feedback. So in only this way we can improve our marks. I am telling this because I did only these things and I got highest marks in optional as well as GS. So it is not like that you need to refer a lot to crack history optional. I had very handful of books and notes. With that I am able to secure one of highest marks in history. It is possible for you too. So be specific and get the high marks in history. I need to thank everyone, and because it is like my extended family in Nagar, as I told previously. Whether it is Sadik sir role is in my preparation is a large one, and the content team and administrative team and especially my online team. So I need to thank all because whenever I have any doubts, whenever I knock them, so they respond me and they help me a lot. They didn't hesitate anything. So in that way, the doors were open to me whenever I need, and I need to thank all